Oh, hello there. Yes, well, yesterday was St George's Day, and the media likes to indulge in some certain sort of time-honoured rituals, the way that they will bemoan the lack of patriotism whilst dressing it up as racism, the way they will score racist points against other political parties that aren't magically the Conservatives, and I really think the entire day should be renamed the Emily Thornberry White Man Van Day, because that's a trope that comes up every year since she's said that. Yes, anyway, prompted by a Daily Mail article from Lord Ashcroft. He'll keep the interesting polling stuff to himself for when it's politically convenient, but decides to go with releasing this to the Mail. Sir Keir's patriotism problem. 1 in 8 Labour voters and 1 in 12 Lib Dems think St George's Cross is racist and divisive and should not be displayed, as Tories accuse Starmer's party of hating Britain. Yeah, you see? Cheap political points, because lefties are more likely to find a symbol which is used by extremely right-wing people in often very nasty contexts as, well, something that's being used by extremely nasty right-wing people in nasty contexts, isn't it, really? And I'm going to give you a few exhibits here. On the lesser end of the scale, we had Mike Graham on his show, who was reacting to that by waving the flag, because apparently I get triggered or something about that. We had a couple of transphobes. Sharon Davis, a woman whose career in sports never really took off, but her career in transphobia certainly has, so she has to get in on the act because, as well as supporting Israel, they have to be good patriots these days. It goes with the grift, so you buy into that, you get the complete package. So apparently she doesn't mind being English. Well done. Graham Linehan, a man who's not English, manages to be intensely racist. Very odd for a man that swears blind that he's not abusive. Humza Yousef, the Scottish SNP leader, is very nice and sort of saying about wishing everyone a happy St George's Day with the English and other people that have him as their patron saint. So Graham has St George white, the dragon white, the princess white. Yes, which is reasonably about as racist as I can think. Quite stunning. Anyway, St George not real, the dragon not real, the princess not real. Graham Linehan being a decent human being, not real either. Yes, lovely. We had this guy Nick Dutt, which is a name that sounds like the punchline of a joke. He's a patron or something from the Royal Society of St George, and he was saying on GB News yesterday, there's an underlying trend in universities and schools to push a narrative that undermines our history. We should be celebrating. Yeah, England has many great people in its history, and that isn't what's being taught. I actually had a quick look on his LinkedIn page, and I don't think he's been in any educational institution since about 1980. History GCSE is one of the things that I teach, and he's about as wrong as he can be about that, but never mind, I'm sure he knows, because after all, he's from the Royal Society of St George. Yeah, must have a huge membership. Talking of very, very interesting small numbers of people that are not very popular or democratic, we had Suella Braverman on Julia Hartley-Brewer, getting the usual soft soap from her. So, she said she's proud of what St George's Day represents and hits out an ugly snobbery of the left. Yeah, my sort of ugly snobbery. You wouldn't get ugly snobbery from Suella Braverman. After all, she's a woman of colour. She certainly wouldn't do that, would she? But she is very proud of what St George's Day represents, although I think she'd actually struggled to say exactly what it represents. As indeed would most of these people in real terms. I can wax lyrical about my love for England. I think it's a glorious country and I love the English people. I don't think Suella Braverman realistically does. She only likes some of them, and they're very, very picky about those ones. They're all in favour of open borders. Give me a name, Suella. No one can ever give me a name about left-wingers that are in favour of open borders. They don't really care about speaking for the law-abiding patriotic majority. Yes, Suella Braverman, she speaks for the law-abiding patriotic majority. If ever you don't have an argument, just concoct one out of the air. Just pretend that magically you represent everybody. Ah, dear God, thank God you won't be the leader of the party. And then we get into the more esoteric and right-wing blogosphere. I noticed that Tommy Robinson, whose court case was dismissed yesterday, probably rightly in his way, was badly treated by the police. But I do notice that he's managed to slip in with various people, and it's becoming a lot more prominent. Loza Fox has managed to have a chat with him about how much he hates his wife. Leave that one hanging in the air. Anyway, that's St George's Day for you from those two. Bless him. And on a similar vein, we got Calvin Robinson, who's managing to squeeze a lot of God in there. Astounding, the three of them, when they get together to chat about how much they are open-minded, reasonable, liberal people that love their country. Yeah, they just don't like the people in it, most of them anyway. And the kind of zenith of right-wing blogosphere was this one. So the Lotus Eaters, Carl Benjamin et al., got reposted David Atherton. If you ever want to see the working definition of a racist on Twitter, look at his page. It is dripping with his hatred of anyone that isn't as purebred an Englishman as him. I'm using that phrase very lightly, especially in terms of his DNA. So here's Tommy Robinson being cleared from court. Why didn't he wear a tie, for God's sake? Notice all the flags of St George there because they're proud patriots, being found not guilty. Here he's outside the court talking to former UKIP MEP Gerard Batten. Yeah, Gerard Batten, the man who thought it would be a good idea to get Carl Benjamin to stand. Yeah, lovely, patriotic boys making the most of St George's Day. It's their day. It's not the lefties' day. And, you know, here we can definitely see the proof that those lefties, they have no interest in celebrating the love of their country. I mean, just look at this one that's demanding open borders, for example. Yeah. Anyway, there you have it. It really does astound me, these people. As I say, I do have a deep love of so much about what it is to be English, and I don't think these people realistically know, because they live in a different world to me and they don't celebrate Englishness at all. What they celebrate is their imagined superiority over others. I don't do that. I celebrate my real imagined superiority over them. No, it wouldn't be imagined, would it? You know what I mean. Anyway, do have a lovely day, and if you want to wrap yourself in a flag, I would do. It's quite cold. Yeah. Is it ever going to be properly spring? It would be nice, wouldn't it? No rain, and I don't know, just 3 or 4 decent days when it's not tipping it down. Yeah. Anyway, enjoy.